I will say I'm very happy with what SHIB did this weekend. We are one of the only assets in the crypto space that actually had back-to-back green candle days, a perfect transition into the early part of the week. And yes, we are seeing some red to begin the day, but we'll see if we can build this into something much more. And what I will say is that there's a very consistent trend between Bitcoin, between Ethereum, between Shiba Inu that always brings us to this kind of tipping point where we get to see some exciting stuff take place. And we're going to talk about all that and more in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So yes, Shiba Inu did have back-to-back green candle days. And I'm not saying that these are huge, massive, awesome, exciting days to get truly jazzed up about, but they were good days nonetheless. Yesterday, SHIB was up 1%. The day before, SHIB up 0.4%. Now, I will say right now, today's daily candles kind of brought us back down to where we started the weekend, which sucks. But really the reason we're seeing red, excuse me, in the crypto market is because James Wynn once again opened up another 40x long position in terms of BTC worth $100 million. And once again, the market got pushed down to about his liquidation price. Not sure if he got liquidated or not. Didn't have a chance to take a look and see, but this has been a very consistent rinse and repeat over the past cluster of days, last 5 days or so. So hopefully this is something that we can finally get past in the market. Hopefully retail can stop having PTSD, and the people need to remember, excuse me, that the only reason that SHIB actually even fell off of this ledge of support here is one, because of the liquidations that took place, but two, because of all this negative news that it's floated around the space over the past few days that really is not that big of a deal. It has to do with the US and China kind of going back and forth at it because of the courts pausing basically the pause on Trump tariffs, which is basically big nothing burgers, but it's market reactions because of those nothing burgers, thinking that they're bigger than what they are. Now, the good news about this is, again, we didn't have this major drop off that we saw like all the way back here on February 2nd, February 3rd. All right. Very, very different than that. And the market is showing a little bit of stability. That's exactly what we want to see. Now, what I will say is good here as well is, once again, we got a bullish cross on the daily stochastic RSI in terms of Shiba Inu. Again, we haven't escaped this big oversold range yet. Right now, we're at a 4.8. So we're very much below these trends, and it might take a little bit of momentum to get out of here. Remember, SHIB has kind of toyed with this line since all the way back here on the 20th. So for about almost 2 weeks now, it's been kind of up and down and up and down and up and down, and just waiting for the moment where it can finally flip and create a little bit of momentum here. But that's at least a great sign for SHIB. All right. We're still kind of out in no man's land when it comes to our weekly. We're below all of our weekly moving averages, which sucks. We're below all of our daily moving averages, which sucks. But, unfortunately, meme coins have been kind of brutalized as of late. They've seen some pretty drastic drop-offs because of that negative sentiment surrounding the crypto space. And, when we look at meme coins in general, right now, search traffic has been just kind of trash, we'll say, right? That's the best way to describe it. And I had a viewer ask a question, and it was like, I hope that the comments on Shiba Inu videos aren't an indication of people's waning interest. And right now, the interest surrounding meme coins, people need to remember, it just comes from within the space. It's people that are here right now. We don't have big adoption taking place. And that's fine, because I wouldn't expect it to take place while the market is down in the dumps, while there isn't really a whole lot going on. Yes, this is exciting to see this trend that is in fact moving up and to the right, but for the most part, we're still just kind of in the blah time, right? I remember people not getting very excited when we were down here. I remember people not getting very excited when we were down here. It's the same thing. Sentiment's the same, right? But what is very different than that time is we are seeing exponential growth in terms of accumulation across the crypto space. We're seeing this in terms of Shiba Inu, which we have in fact talked about. We obviously know that whales have been buying and buying and buying. We know that holders are in fact on the rise. These are great signs. The percentage of holders holding Shiba Inu for 1 year or longer has not shifted. We're currently sitting at 78% of holders in this range. So that's huge. It seems that the more people that are coming into Shiba Inu, those even in profit, the longer they're staying, which is a great sign. That's the conviction that you want to see from an asset. Right now, we're only at about 41% of holders either in or at profit, but yet despite that, those holders are not leaving. All right. If that makes sense for people. Now, what I will say here as well is we're seeing huge whale buying in terms of Bitcoin, in terms of Ethereum, And this is actually spiked as of late. People are really taking advantage of these dips that we're seeing right now. And what we're also seeing as well is a lot of that supply is being removed from exchanges. We're seeing this in terms of Ethereum. We're seeing this in terms of BTC. We're seeing this in terms of Shiba Inu. We've talked about it ad nauseum. Again, just hit a new record low just the other day in terms of exchange supply. And so what you need to understand is that right now, the large entities are taking advantage of the dips. They're buying, they're buying, they're buying, they're accumulating, they're building their positions. We're seeing new holders enter. And what is so exciting about that is it's happening when interest surrounding crypto is in fact so low. And this is a normal thing. This is how market cycles take place every single time. It's what leads you to these big, exciting movements. Yes, even in terms of Shiba Inu as well. And people need to understand that the markets are going to move when they're ready to move. It doesn't work on your schedule. I have some people keep asking me about this, and yes, it would have been great for things to move in the traditional March through May, but sometimes timelines change, right? And I think it's kind of funny because some people will talk about SHIB being dead, and it's a $7.5 billion asset. Calm down. Okay. And second of all, if the market cycle is in fact dead, that it's kind of funny that people are saying, oh, we're going to fall into a bear market. And, that's the way it works. But then, not even consider the fact that we might be gearing up for some of the biggest moves in history, the biggest extended moves that take us well beyond the October highs that we're projecting. Now, I think that June is going to be a good gauge of what we're going to do in the market. If we do get a big surge in June across the crypto space, for Shiba Inu included, then that's a very good sign that we're continuing to follow this 2016, 2017 cycle. If it's a very dull summer, I'm not sure what to expect then, because then I think they've done enough to slow down adoption and interest for now, but it's a question of when does that when does that surge pick back up? Then maybe we are reliant on interest rate decreases and, injections of liquidity in the market and things like that at that point. But those are conversations that we'll have to have as the month progresses, but we'll see how things start. We've obviously started off on a red note for the month so far, but those trends could obviously very quickly change. That's the way that the market works. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.